إلى من يجمع المال ويلقى فيه أهوالا سنون العمر ماضية وكأس الموت قد سالا.
Dear beloved viewers, welcome back. Before we took a break, I was explaining to you conditions that are applicable to the person of which it is obligatory for him to pay zakat. To continue from the 5 conditions is niyyah, that the person who is giving zakat should have that intention in his heart that he is giving whatever he is giving as a zakat. So niyyah should be that of I'm giving this as a zakat, which is the place of niyyah is at the heart, and it's not necessary for you to mention to the receiver that this is my zakat. That is not necessarily, it's not required. What is required is your heart, that you are giving whatever you are giving as a zakat without revealing to the person that is receiving whatever you are giving him. Now, having mentioned those conditions which are applicable to muzakki, the person who is giving zakat, also there are other conditions which needs to be fulfilled. This is a condition of complete possession. Complete possession. This means that the muzakki must be the owner who has the ownership, full rights of ownership. Okay? However, if a person is being given an authority, has been given a permission by the owner, he can pay zakat on behalf of the muzakki. Okay? Because there could be issue of wakala here, that I allow my accountant, I allow my financial advisor, I allow my bank to compute my zakat amount and pay to the recipient. So if there is such express delegation and permission, then another person who doesn't own, who is not the owner of that wealth, he can give it on behalf of the owner. But the condition here is complete possession. You should have milk tam, that you own it. And this brings an issue that is discussed by scholars and is quite common with us in East Africa and other parts of the world with regards to the pension money. Some of us, it is required by law in our countries that a certain amount is taken from your salary and it is given to, say, NSSF, or it is given to those employers instituted schemes in companies. You take a certain percent there, say 10% or 5%, and your employer puts something and it is saved aside. With regards to this kind of property, there are also different views of scholars. There are those who say because you don't have complete possession, then you are not eligible to pay zakat on that money if it has reached nisab. Because this is like a saving that is there. If it has not reached nisab, then obviously you don't pay zakat. But if it has reached nisab, then there are 2 views. One view is that you don't pay zakat on that. But there is another view that if it has reached the, and this view is, the first view is based on this issue of complete possession, that you don't have it, you don't have possession of it. The other view is you are eligible to pay zakat of it, okay, every year again. And the view is also based on the fact that even if you don't have possession now, but you will have the possession at a certain period of time. It is like amount of money saved aside. It is your money. It is like a debt Okay, it is like a debt which is qawi, okay, because in Islam there are various kind of debts of which the creditor is supposed to pay zakat. And one of that category of debt that you are eligible to pay zakat is qard qawi, as they call it. That is a debt which is highly, there's high likelihood of you being paid off that particular money as a creditor. So this saving amount, using this line of thought, it is treated as this is like a debt which you are likely to be paid. And of course we know pension money, we are likely to receive it. So this view holds that if that is so, if you will be convinced with this line of thought, then you will have to pay zakat of 2.5% of whatever money that it is held in your pension account each year. If you are following lunar year, you pay 2.5%. If you are following solar year, Gregorian calendar, then you pay 2.5%. If the saving amount there has reached a nisab, which I will explain in this particular program, what is the nisab for cash. So that is a complete possession issue, as I explained. So the default position is you should have complete possession. Another important condition is it should be a surplus money. So it is a money that is after meeting the basic needs, that which remains after you have met basic needs, not other luxurious needs. So surplus of money after meeting the basic needs, which is food, clothing, and housing for oneself, or wife, children's, and dependents. So after having these needs being met, so whatever is extra and it has reached nisab, that is what is eligible to be paid zakat. Another condition is a lapse of 1 year, hawl. Okay, it should be possessed by him for a complete lunar year. And it is important here to say that this condition is applicable for some zakatable wealth like cash, gold and silver, livestocks, okay, and is not applicable, stocks, business stocks, okay, but is not applicable in agricultural produce. Okay, if you are a farmer, maize farmer, coffee farmer, okay, or grain farmer, etc., this condition of lunar, having completed a year, doesn't apply to you, because to the rules of zakat for the farmers, producers of agricultural produce, they are supposed to pay zakat upon harvesting. Okay, upon harvesting. Now the stronger position is there is a nisab of that harvest. It's not like having 1 kilogram of maize you pay zakat, though there is a view of some scholars to pay that, but the majority of the scholars are of the view that you will pay zakat if whatever you have harvested during whatever harvesting period is above a certain nisab, which inshallah ta'ala we will mention shortly. Now, having talked about the conditions of that are applicable for the muzakki and the wealth that is supposed to be paid zakat from, let me now move into the nisab issue. Now, with respect to the nisab, this is the minimum threshold that if a person, you have wealth which has reached this minimum threshold, then you should know that you are eligible to pay zakat from it. Now we will start with the first category of zakatable wealth. The first category of zakatable wealth is gold and silver. Okay, be in form of gold themselves, physical gold themselves, or physical silver, okay, cash, okay, whether at hand or in the bank, okay, or in the pension fund, okay. Now, the nisab for this category of wealth is it should have reached 85 grams of if it is gold, it is 85 grams of gold. If it is silver, then it is a different amount. Now, common in our part of the world is we use the gold as a benchmark for most of our zakatable wealth when it comes to cash and cash in hand and cash at bank in a bank account. So the minimum nisab, if you have a gold which is weighted around 85 grams of gold, then you are eligible to pay zakat on that particular gold, which is 2.5% or 1/4 of it. You will have to pay zakat. Now that is if you are following a lunar year, which is if you are following an Islamic calendar. But if you are following a solar year or this Gregorian calendar, then you have to pay 2.57% of gold that has reached the minimum nisab. Again, the equivalent of 85 grams of gold in cash is what you will be required to pay zakat from. So if the gram of gold is a certain amount in Kenya shillings, then you times that times 85 grams of gold to get the minimum amount of cash that you will be required to subject it to 2.5% and pay zakat that amount. Now, this is a category of gold and silver, and inshallah ta'ala, perhaps in the next program I will come up with the figures which is to give a valid and more realistic example of how much is the gram of gold now. Inshallah ta'ala, in the upcoming program I will come up with a figure for that, so that you get a clear picture of how much now you are supposed to pay zakat if you have that amount of wealth. And I'm going to do this because I know most of Muslims have a tendency to wait until Ramadan to pay zakat because of gaining much more thawab out of it. But it is important that you pay zakat when it is due. However, there is no harm if you delay, but that is not something good. So it is important that you normally pay zakat on time rather than delaying zakat, because that is an obligation on your shoulder. If you delay, there is a consequence which is not good. You might die and not paying zakat, and your inheritors might not know if you haven't paid zakat. So it's important for you to pay on time, and most of Muslim traders have set up their calculation, their hawli period, to be one Ramadan after the other Ramadan. So if that is so, then there is no harm for you to do that. Now, with that regard, as I said, inshallah ta'ala, in the upcoming episode, I will bring in the actual amount of 1 gram is equal to how 1 gram of gold is equal to how much in Kenya shilling, in Tanzanian shilling, as well as in Ugandan shilling, inshallah ta'ala, so that we all know whether or not we have cash or we have gold that is supposed to be paid zakat or not. Until we meet again, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
إلى من يجمع المال ويلقى فيه أهوالا سنون العمر ماضية وكأس الموت قد سالا